Hello, I'm Dango Rose. Welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. The Mountaineer brings you the latest news of the Peak to Peak region, in print, online, through our podcast, social media, and special publications. Now, listen in to the latest news of the area with our local journalists.
Welcome back to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. I'm Barbara Hardt.
And I'm Doug Armitage. Thanks for joining us. This month's featured music is provided to us by the Magic Beans, Scott Hatchie on guitar and vocals, Casey Russell on keyboard and vocals, Chris Duffy on bass and vocals, and Cody Wales on drums. This song is taken from their 2018 studio album, Casino Cabaret, which you can stream along with their other albums, including their latest, Unzipped, wherever you listen to music.
This episode is brought to you by Brightwood Music, Hardt's Backhoe, Kaleidoscope Fine Arts Gallery, and of course, the Mountaineer newspaper.
From here on out. From here on out.
Our first story of the week is brought to you by Jamie Lammers, who will be interviewing local musician Cody Wales of the Magic Beans. Take it away there, Jamie.
Hello, my name is Jamie Lammers, and this is my interview with Cody Wales. I've interviewed him before for his band Judo Chop, but now he's coming back on the podcast to talk about another one of his bands, the Magic Beans.
My name is Cody Wales. I'm the drummer for the Magic Beans and a local Netherland boy.
I hear that Magic Beans is performing very soon.
We sure are. Playing at the Caribou Room this upcoming Friday, which we're very excited about. That's where the band started, actually. So it's like a homecoming for us, in a way.
How did the Magic Beans start? How did you guys all meet up? How did it all begin?
Well, I'm not the first drummer. I think I'm actually the third drummer. So I can only tell from really my experience how I started with the band. But the band did start in Netherland, Boulder area. And I met the boys actually in Netherlands. It's kind of had some fate where I was leaving another band and they just happened to need a drummer at the time. And so I linked up with them in Netherlands. The rest of the boys lived up in Ned. I've grown up here my whole life. So I was like home base for us. And now everyone kind of lives in Denver, except for me. I still live up in the mountains. And, you know, we just started playing a lot of local shows, and I feel like when I joined the band, we really started doing more heavy touring, and I'm very proud to be a band from Netherlands. It's a very special musical place. A lot of amazing bands have come out of here.
What are some of the biggest influences that have kind of brought the band together in regards to musical influences?
Well, we all have different influences musically individually, which I think help with our eclectic sound, but there are a lot of crossovers that we have. We all love soul music. We all love funk music. We all love hip-hop. We all love jam music. We all love bluegrass music, and the band has come a long way in our sound as a band. In the beginning, we had different instrumentation. We had electric mandolin, so we were doing a lot more kind of bluegrassy, funk grass type things, and I would say that a lot of the influences would be early on String Cheese and Leftover and Fish, Humphreys, all of those jam bands, because those are the people in the scene that we look up to. But then there's a lot of soul influences as far as Jay Dilla and lots of New Orleans music. For me, Stevie Wonder, so many different things. We all have different things that we love that we bring to the band. And also we call it space funk or whatever. It's kind of how people have categorized us before. But it's kind of nice playing in a jam band where you have the ability to not be tied down to one genre of music. I can only speak to my own influences and some of the other dudes, but I would say that we all meet up in jam and soul and funk and hip-hop.
It sounds like you guys as a band kind of take pride in being able to experiment in all these different styles of music and create something that is uniquely your own.
Yeah, for sure. Every album that we've been putting out has been a lot different. We just released a all-instrumental beat tape album that is very hip-hop groove-oriented with no lyrics and shorter songs, and that was very well received in our fan group and was something totally different that we've never really done a whole album of. It's always been an influence of ours, but it was cool to put something out totally different and see the response from our fans.
And what is your favorite part, do you think, about being able to perform live?
Well, for me personally, the thing I love the most, I feel the most in the moment when I'm playing music. So for me, it's amazing to be able to live in the moment and express myself, but then it's also seeing how the music affects people in such a positive way, and to be able to travel around and make people happy with what you do as your job is an amazing thing, and touch people and make people forget about their day and just dive into the music. I think that's a very powerful thing, and it's very wonderful to be able to spread that gift.
Is there anything that you hope that audiences will be able to take away from your shows when they come and see you?
I hope that they're able to just be in the music and be present and forget about some of their daily troubles, and then maybe also just connect with some emotions that they hadn't connected in a while, and allow the music to flow through them and heal them and have a good time and not take it too seriously, because we try not to.
Is there anything else just in general you want to add about the band, or anything coming up, or anything you want to promote, or just anything?
Well, we have Beanstalk Music Festival that we throw every year in August. This year we moved it to August. That's an amazing festival up at Rancho de Rio. Obviously the Caribou Room. I think this is going to be the biggest year for the band that we've ever had. Look out for new music and come to a show if you see us in your town, and take a chance. You might have a great time.
I think those are all the big questions I have on my end.
Cool. For the people of Nederland, keep coming out to live music. Keep Nederland weird. A music scene only exists if you come out and make it exist. So keep going to see music in Nederland. Keep supporting live bands. We have a very awesome, wonderful scene, and we have a great town in Nederland. And I just want people to keep supporting live music and keep Nederland weird.
Thank you so much for coming on board and joining us for the podcast. This was awesome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much to Cody for coming on board and joining us for the podcast again. You can see the Magic Beans perform at the Caribou Room, 55 Indian Peaks Drive in Nederland on Friday, December 2nd, 2022. Doors open and dinner starts at 7 p.m. and the show starts at 8 p.m.
Thanks, Jamie. Now, on to the news desk.
In the past several weeks, we have been focused on amping up our shop local stories. We have covered some of Gilpin County, some of the city of Blackhawk, the city of Central, and now this week we'll feature some of our Nederland businesses. We will be running these stories for about 4 weeks until the Thursday before Christmas. Keep an eye on The Mountaineer in print and online to find the latest, greatest mountain shopping available to you.
Last week, the Mountaineer also announced the Pet of the Year candidates. The polls are open to vote for these awesome animals until December 15th. Winners will be announced in the December 22nd edition of The Mountain Ear.
The Peak to Peak Corral presents Little Eddie and Armitage Save Christmas again, with music and characters based on Cabin Fever by George Blevins. Blevins is a well-known reporter and artist in Gilpin County. Performances will be at the Tommyknocker Celebration at the Teller House in Central City on December 2nd at 7 p.m. and at the Golden Gate Grange on December 4th at 3 p.m.
For our next story, Jamie Lammers interviews Stephanie Endelman about the Ned Jazz Wine Winter Pop-Up event. Take it away, Jamie.
Hello. My name is Jamie Lammers, and this is my interview with Stephanie Endelman, organizer behind the Nederland Jazz and Wine Festival Wintertime Pop-Up event.
I am Stephanie Endelman of Nederland, Colorado, and Nederland Jazz and Wine Festival.
And I hear that the Nederland Jazz and Wine Festival is coming up very, very soon.
Well, a special event, which is a pop-up that we're announcing basically 1 week before event time. It's December 4th, which is Sunday, a week from tomorrow. And it's going to be a jazz club style evening with not only Grammy-nominated jazz players, but also wine from a Boulder winery and food from a local caterer and restaurant. And that is put on by the Netherlands Jazz and Wine Festival, but we're calling it the Ned Jazz Wine Winter or the Ned Jazz Wine December Pop-Up.
Has an event like this been done before in Netherlands?
There have been acid jazz nights that were late night, sort of open jam style jazz events in that same location when it used to be the Wolf Tongue back in the late 90s, early 2000s. But in terms of taking over an indoor space and having an event and turning it into a jazz club Chicago style, it hasn't been done in the last 20 years, perhaps before then, but not to my knowledge.
How did this event come to be? How did you get all of these jazz musicians together? How did you set it up? All that kind of stuff.
Well, after the positive feedback of Ned Jazz Wine in August, it was August 20th in Chipeta Park, and committing to doing it in 2023 in the same location, same structure, I thought how people get put to themselves in a way during the winter months. Usually November's okay. People are still out and about and getting ready for the winter. And then December comes and you just prepare for the holidays, but you don't really see your community people that much. And I just thought, wouldn't it be nice to bring back that vibe that we had during the August festival, bring some of those same people together and have the same style of a Grammy-nominated jazz musician and complement it with wine. And of course, when you have wine and it's winter and it's cold, you want some food as well. So I just thought that had to be an indoor event. It has to be small, limited tickets, but let's keep ourselves in front of all these people who love that concept and bring it to life again for one night. So as we were considering who to bring in for a one-night performance, and we are doing a 6 p.m. and an 8 p.m. seating, so they're playing the same performance 2 times. We were looking into the list of Kuvo favorites and who's been playing at Dazzle and Nocturne, who might be coming through, who has some kind of investment in Denver, but would come for a special event like this. And Rob Mullins came up several times in our conversations with people and our searches, and we talked to him, and he was very open and accommodating, and he comes to Denver regularly to play at Dazzle. We thought it would be a great fit, and he's been giving us advice and recommendations for who we should put into our 2023 festival. So we've become friends over this process over the last month, and he put together his trio that he's played with at Dazzle and at 5 Points Jazz Festival that happens in June every year down at 5 Points in Denver. And so he brought in a jazz aficionado who's actually from Brazil, and his name is Bijou Barbosa, and he's known in the space world for jazz. And then a younger guy who's an up-and-comer named Liam Zom, and he plays drums and does vocals. And with this evening, not only is Rob Mullins putting this star trio together and playing for us live for 2 performances, but he's also releasing his 42nd album at the event.
In regards to the event as a whole, what do you think you're most excited for about setting up the event or seeing the event come to life, or just about the event in general?
What excites me the most about this event is bringing the community together and seeing them talk, relate, hug, eat, drink, be merry, and enjoy jazz all together. I know that the music is going to take them on a journey through holiday music, to trad, to improvisational, progressive, and everybody will just be completely taken away. But what's really going to make this memorable is turning this restaurant bar spot that no one has been in for the last couple of years into a jazz club. We have the pipe and drapes on the stage. We've got the neon lights. We've got uplights. We've got them set up on a stage that's going to feel like you are in the middle of the city catching a very special jazz performance. And I haven't seen that ever happen in Netherlands. And so not only is the music going to be top notch, but the scene, the environment will be top notch. You don't have to think about the food. It's going to be passed around to you by servers. You can eat as much as you'd like. It pairs with the wine. September Cellars from Boulder, they're bringing their estate wines that they age for 10 years or more for people to try and then get a glass that comes with their tickets. So to me, a package that gives you an event. You just show up and everything is there for you, and it's an environment that you'll recall for the rest of your life, makes this very unique.
In regards to setting up the event, what has been most exciting about being able to bring this event to life?
What was exciting about putting this event together was thinking what could be an ideal indoor space, because the festival we have in August is outside. How can we make it much more intimate, cap it between 100 and 150 people total between the 2 seatings, give it this intimate flair, but have enough room come to feel the energy. And I used to go to the First Street Pub and Grill all the time. I actually worked with the owners when it was Rocky Mountain Oyster Bar and the Branding Iron and the Mine Shaft, and I just love that space. It's the only space in downtown Netherland with a stage. So my fantasy was turning that into some kind of space I could use for a jazz performance, but complementing it again with drink and food. And luckily it all came together. The owners of Decent Bagel, they started a new business called Sweet Sue's in that space. And they are using it for special events, private events, a juice bar. They will soon have soups and other to-go and eat on-premises food. They'll have a little place to come in and get hot drinks and do your work remotely. They're figuring it out, but they were very open to this concept. So I think the worry was what would be the ideal space to host this event, and the wonderful outcome was the exact space I had envisioned and how willing the owners were to partner on this.
Will people actually be able to get tickets for other events as well?
Yeah, so people have been asking since the conclusion of August 20th, 2022, our Ned Jazz and Wine Festival, our first annual. They've been asking about the second annual. And this was one of the motivators for putting on this indoor event in December, was let's release a batch of tickets to our most committed and loyal followers, believers, attendees. So at the December 4th pop-up, we will be selling tickets for Ned Jazz Wine 2023. And we will close off the ticket window after this event until later December or January, and then open it up to the public.
What do you hope that people are going to be able to take away from this event in general? What do you hope that people will be able to gain from listening to this music and being able to have all this great food and all that kind of stuff?
I think what people will take away from this event is, of course, the music, the combo of these three people, knowing that they come regularly to Denver, putting it on their list of, I'm going to have a night out in Denver and go to Dazzle or Nocturne, and inspire them with knowing that Colorado is becoming a jazz haven. Musicians, young and old, playing regularly and keeping their career at it. They can sit back and everything is just there for them to be amused for the evening. The wine, they'll take away some bottles of wine because they'll probably really like the wine they get to try. September Cellars, of course, is selling their bottles on site, but they are giving away with the ticket purchase a glass of Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, Dry Riesling, Chardonnay, and you get to try the wine before the wine you pick for your glass, and then you'll know what you might want to take home or have additional glasses on site. And then Decent Bagel, Sweet Sue's, the same owners again, they have a catering company, and people get to try their catered food. So there's going to be plates of 5 types of appetizers, vegan, vegetarian, pork related. So if you like your meat, you can get your meat. They will be small appetizers, but there will be several of them. So you can try between squash tartlets to tomato soup to grilled cheese sticks to doubles on a horseback. If you know what those are, that's figs wrapped in bacon and crisp prosciutto and fig. So you'll feel like you're about to go to the fanciest event, but it's all very equitable and open and accessible to both the music and that food along with the paired wine. So I just think you're going to feel this inclusivity and be entrapped in a beautiful way of all these elements to make a memorable evening. And so this space you can walk into now, Sweet Sue's, and look at how clean and open it is, order a juice or a coffee if you'd like, and actually go gift shopping. Audrey, the owner, has a very talented eye for merchandise and decoration, but this particular night, you're going to have all of that, the clean and the open and the opportunity to buy gifts, but you will be inside a jazz club. And I think that would be really special to see, the before, the after, and especially the during.
So how much are the tickets going to be?
So we are limited to selling 130 tickets. Again, it's 2 seatings, and there's only so much seats we can put in there and what the fire code will allow. And we've marked it out for bistro tables of 2 and 3 tops to community tables of 4 to 8 people, bench areas with side tables. It's going to be really funky, but unfortunately we're limited to that amount of people. So for $66, you are going to get an hour and a half of jazz, a 2-hour show, as many appetizers as you'd like to eat. I promise you'll get full on them, and your glass of wine, a nice generous pour, and the ability to try the wines before you have that pour. And you get to be surrounded by the best of the best in this community. So $66, limited to 130, and so we have 65 people per seating, and you will check in and be shown to where you'll be spending your evening seated, but you get to get up, get your wine, talk to your friends, and then we do the next show at 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock. So again, the music is an hour and a half from 8 to 9:30, and then we clear people out by 10, and the earlier show starts at 6, music until 7:30, and then get your bottles of wine, hug your friends before you take off until the next CD. So it's a new model. I can't imagine doing this over and over again through the year. It takes a lot of time, but the beautiful thing with this strategy of this pop-up is it's 1 week to push it, promote it, sell it, glamorize it, experience it, and then everybody's got to wait until they get their tickets and come to August 19th, 2023. If you're looking for something to do with your best friend, your loved one, here's a gift you can give them even before the holiday gift-giving season, and it is that December 4th time. But there you can actually buy them the gift for that Christmas, Hanukkah, and that could be by buying a pair of tickets to Ned Jazz Wine 2023.
Is there any way that people can find more information about this event?
Absolutely. They have a few choices. They can go to nedjazzwine.com, and on the homepage, they'll see information about the event, and they can click on that to learn more about the musicians, the wine, and the food, and they can also click on an option just to purchase tickets. Whichever way they go from the homepage, they will be driven to buy tickets, and they can learn more information. They can also go to Facebook and look up Ned Jazz Wine, same for Instagram, at Ned Jazz Wine, and from there are events and ticket links throughout both of those pages, and Sweet Sue's has the platform by which you order the tickets once you click through the ticket page.
Thank you so much to Stephanie for coming on board and joining us for the podcast. If you want more details about the event or you want to buy tickets, be sure to check out the Ned Jazz Wine homepage at nedjazzwine.com and check out their social channels at Ned Jazz Wine.
Thanks, Jamie. Did you know every week you can check out the latest Backdoor Theater movie on their website at www.thebackdoortheater.org?
Friends, the Gilpin County Democrats hold monthly meetings in person on the fourth Thursday of each month at the Gilpin County Library at 6:30 p.m. Contact Gilpin Dems Chair at gmail.com for information.
The Gilpin County Republican meetings are on the first Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. at the Gilpin County Library. You can contact them at gcrcgilpin@gmail.com.
The holiday season is upon us, and Brightwood Music in Nederland has the gifts you need for the aspiring musician to the advanced performer. They carry new and used instruments, strings, reeds, books, accessories, and so much more. Brightwood Music is family-owned and operated and has been a Nederland staple for all of your music needs since 2009. They are located at 20 East Lakeview Drive, Unit 109 in Nederland, and can be reached at 303-258-8863. Check them out on Facebook at Brightwood Music.
Peak-to-peak musicians and artists, the Mountain Ear is looking for you. We're looking for our January featured musician. Would you like a feature story in the Mountain Ear, print, online, and podcast? These are all completed through email, phone calls, or occasional in-person interviews with our journalists. Interested? Check out our contact information at the end of the podcast.
Are you interested in being a podcast sponsor? We have sponsorships available starting at $30 per week. The podcast reaches a different audience than the print or online edition of The Mountain Ear.
Did you know the Gilpin County and Nederland area seniors have their scheduled events in print in the Mountain Ear each week? Looking for meals, movies, grocery shopping, and more? It's right there between pages 4 and 5 each week.
And for our final story, let's get back to Jamie Lammers interviewing Mike Banker of the local band Parkin' Lot.
Hello, my name is Jamie Lammers, and this is my interview with Mike Bank of the local band Parkin' Lot. Lot.
My name is Mike Bank. Everybody calls me Banker. I go by Banker in the band. I'm a founding member of the band Parking Lot. I'm also vice president of the board of the Conscious Alliance, which is my real heart. Very involved with the music and the music scene in the Mountain and the Boulder area, in Denver area. Very excited to be going back to our favorite place in the world, which is Jamestown, Merck, to play music on December 9th.
How did Parking Lot begin? How did it start as a band, and how did you guys meet?
Sure.
All that kind of stuff.
So the real base of a lot of musical people that you know in the whole Boulder Front Range music scene all started at really the Rocky Mountain Song School and Folks Festival up at Planet Bluegrass back in the the year 2000, let's say. A bunch of us met up there, and the band Parking Lot actually got established in the parking lot of the Telluride Bluegrass Festival in 2007 when myself and Al Hager, who's our mandolin player, who I do not think will be joining us on the 9th, unfortunately. He lives up in Fort Collins. We decided we've known each other for years, and we started playing in the parking lot, and everything went crazy there. I'm a crazy songwriter. At times I write a song a week. At times I write a song every quarter. But during those days, I was writing a song or two a week and was looking for a vehicle to start presenting my music, and Parking Lot became that vehicle. And through the years, the beauty of the parking lot is you never know what cars are in the parking lot, but we're always going to bring you some good-hearted Americana music. And we really kind of made our way. We went and played Sundance Music Festival for about 7-8 straight years, which was a big eye-opening experience for us. We went on some mini tours out west. We all have different lives besides music also, and Parking Lot is really, we have 3 albums out right now in Parking Lot. One's called the Peace Album. One's called Monkey in the Middle, and our last album is The Garden of Eden. A couple of the albums are on Spotify. I haven't put Garden of Eden on Spotify yet. And that's really the musical side of it. We're an acoustically based band that likes to go a little psychedelic and go electric too, so we do a little bit of both. When it comes to December 9th, our lineup is going to be myself, left-hand Dan Balt, who definitely is our engine. He plays an upside-down guitar. He's an amazing guitar player and actual guitar maker. And actually on bass for us is Don Ambory, who's the lead guitar player for the Gasoline Live Box. He's my bass player now. When Donnie's available, we always use Donnie. He loves the opportunity to do something besides lead guitar because he's a musical genius, and for us, it's such a score to have him putting his backbeat on our music. The drummer is named Glenn. I love it. Glenn's been in a bunch of different bands through the years in Boulder, but he's been drumming with me for over 30 years. We both came out of here from the Midwest. That's what I got. Again, the Merck's a special place, as you probably know.
Would you say that Americana music is kind of where you guys are most at home? Is that the style that you guys kind of focus on?
Yeah, I would say we're influenced in so many ways by Bob Dylan, the Grateful Dead, Bob Seger, guys like that. I write a lot of story songs. I write about people a lot in my songs, and I write about the world. So yeah, I think it's hard to really nail down particular genres all the time these days, but I think Americana kind of folk rock is where we're at.
How did you guys start in music? What was the start of the passion for music for you guys, and how did that continue into where you are now?
Well, I would say that in our band, music has been in every member's band probably since the day they were born. We all took a couple little journeys before we got together. My journey is I'm originally a Detroit boy. I am blessed that I had parents who were very into music, and I couldn't even try to tell you the amount of concerts I've been to in my life, first with my parents and then as an adult. But for me personally, I was 23 years old in 1985, and I went up to Alaska, and I borrowed a guitar and just sat on a picnic bench until I started figuring it out. Wrote my first song, which is actually my first song, which I wrote in 1985, is the last song on my last album, so it's kind of cool that it actually survived and lives today. And I probably have written about 400 to 500 songs since. So I have a pretty large library to go to. I'm looking forward to getting into the studio again here, hopefully the beginning of next year. So that's my journey. The other guys can't really talk for their journey. They're just big lifetime musicians. We've been at it for a long time. I got 2 guys in my band on Social Security. So there you go. But it's been a great journey. I've been very lucky. The Boulder music scene and the musicians in the Boulder music scene are very close, from the big guys to the small guys. There's guys who are out there like the String Cheese guys, guys, Leftover Salmon guys, the Yonder Mountain guys. These are all guys I know, I hang out with, that we've all grown up in this music scene. Some have taken it to a level of going national. Some of us have done it in different ways. And it's a beautiful thing to be part of. And Jamestown Merc is where the heart, I think, of it all is for when you talk to true Boulder County musicians. That's what I got.
What are some of your favorite aspects about being able to perform live and share music like that with an audience, do you think?
Telling stories. I am influenced heavily by a guy named Harry Chapin. Harry Chapin not only influenced me on the music side, he influenced me on the charitable side. That is why my passion is the Conscious Alliance. The Conscious Alliance is where 501c that was originally based out of Boulder. We started through the string cheese incident. Started as you bring 20 cans of food to a concert and you get a poster. You go see any jam band at Red Rocks today, you're going to run into the Conscious Alliance. We have kept a running food bank up at the Pine Ridge Reservation since 2002. We've been doing it for 20 years now. This last year, we created over 3 million meals through music at Red Rocks, through music at like the Electric Forest Festival, through going on tour with Jack Johnson. It's art that feeds. And it's become a really popular and successful charity. That is my true passion of what I think music's for. And if you can feed people through music, you can feed people through music. That same passion feeds my music, I feel. I think as being a musician and especially a songwriter, you're kind of like an observer of our planet and you're documenting things, right? That's what I try to do. Music could be healing, music could be loving, music could be so much. When you go live and you see it live, you get to perform live, there's no better feeling than even if it's just one person in that audience you see you're connecting to. It happened to me, so I'm trying to create that wherever I can, when I can. I've been in the business world also for the last 40 years. I'm retiring from that at the end of the year, so I'm actually going to be able to focus 100% on my music and on the charity. So I'm very excited about where we're going musically for the future.
What do you hope that audience members will take away from your shows when they come and see you?
Great stories of life and good observations of the planet, and walk out of there feeling good about everything, not feeling depressed. Be able to take an audience somewhere away from reality for a moment is always my number one goal. So if you could feel a little bit freer when you walk out, I did my job. It's the greatest thing you get to share if you're able to do it, right? So I love it. And our band, we're so in tune with each other. We love each other. It's a beautiful thing. And we're past egos. We're old enough to be past egos. And that's great. It helps.
I don't know, unless you have anything else to add, I think those are all the big questions I have on my end.
Awesome. I appreciate the things you do. Thanks for covering local artists and the merch. As I said, the mountain music scene in Colorado is one of the greatest music scenes that a lot of people don't even know about. And we are lucky to get to share it. And I appreciate you even asking, to be honest. You don't get to talk about it often.
Thank you so much for coming on board. This was great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Mike for coming on board and joining us for the podcast. You can see Park and Lot perform at the Jamestown Mercantile, 108 Main Street in Jamestown, on Friday, December 9th, 2022 at 7 p.m.
Thanks, Jamie. Friends, don't forget to pick up this week's edition of The Mountaineer in print in multiple businesses across the Peak to Peak. From Allens Park to Central City and Blackhawk, with all of the communities and canyons in between. You can also pick up our new Taste of the Peaks winter guide on stands and in your newspaper this week. To contact The Mountaineer, email info@themountaineer.com or call 303-810-5409. And that's all for this episode of The Mountaineer Podcast.
All editions of the Mountaineer Podcast, print newspaper, and the latest news are always available on our website at www.themountaineer.com. Thanks, everyone. I'm Doug Armitage.
And I'm Barbara Hardt. Until next time, thanks for listening.
Recollection is a little hazy. Next time there will be no doubt. From here on out. From here on out. From here on out. From here on out.
And that's it for our show. Subscribe online to get more access to more news, weekly updates to our community calendar, and a link to our YouTube channel by visiting themountaineer.com. Be sure to use the coupon code PODCAST when subscribing for a 10% discount, only available to our listeners. If you are in the local Peak-to-Peak area, be sure to pick up a print edition of The Mountaineer at a local business. I'm Dango Rose. Thank you for listening.